New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. NYC.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick Of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time, and it's time to celebrate a big Knicks win because you guys deserve it, okay? They did not believe in us. ESPN guys are saying, oh, the Knicks are gonna lose to the Cavs. Everybody voted all the Cavs are gonna be the favorite to win the series. No, because we got him, we got Jalen Brunson, we got a whole squad who's ready to take down the Cavs, and the Knicks beat the Cavs in convincing fashion, suiting up for that gentleman's sweep 102-93. All right, RJ Barrett, the Bodman. All y'all guys talking smack about RJ Barrett takes aging like old milk, okay? RJ Barrett gives you 26 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Josh Hart, the reincarnation of John Starks, give you 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. MItch, the block nest monster, gives you 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks, double-double for a block nest monster. Hartenstein only gives you 5 points with 8 huge rebounds and 2 assists, and 2 blocks and 2 steals. And it was 19 points between our 2 big men. And also, Randle did not see any minutes, but Obi Toppin gets 20 minutes off the bench. The Knicks win the rebounding battle 59-42, and we take it home, and the Knicks win. So guys, stick your chest out. The Knicks are on their way. Second round loading. Let's go, New York. Let's go. Okay, so salute to you guys for supporting the channel, KOT. Salute to you guys. Salute to all the fans who endured all the losing seasons to get to this point. And enjoy this moment, enjoy the victory, enjoy the fact that we actually have a team, a complete team, that even when other guys are down, other guys aren't playing bad, we still found a way to win, and that's really important. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to the KOT supporters as well, all right? Now, I'm gonna introduce you to my guys. I'm gonna introduce you first and foremost. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. First and foremost, Brunson, he's outside.
He's outside.
RJ Barrett, he's outside.
He's outside.
Josh Hart, he's outside.
He's outside.
Mr. Robinson, he's outside.
He's outside.
Bench is outside. And last but not least, who's outside? Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year. Hire Tibbs. Extend. Yo, take my super chat money, dog. Take all the money, bro. Tom Thibodeau, you did that, man. You did that, man. You deserve all the money and all the praise that you get, and I shot you. And I gotta introduce you to Mr. ESPN contributor, posting and toasting contributor, Deadspin contributor, man, Lee Escobedo. What's going on, Lee?
It's over, baby.
It's over.
I want Tibbs re-signed ASAP. Put the name on the dotted line. Tibbs is my coach. Top 5 coach in the NBA, baby. I told y'all bums we win the first round. I told y'all we win the first round. I told y'all we would beat the Cavs. I told y'all, baby. I believe Tom Thibodeau to have his best coaching season with the Knicks this season. And what is he? Outside, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. The Knicks.
The sign destroyed, never to return.
Son, I'm telling merch. My man Alex, we got to get some new merch. We got to get higher Tibbs shirts. All right.
Yes.
We gotta get higher Tibbs shirts. All right. If I see any, listen, you other shows, y'all be taking my stuff on the low. All right. If I see you higher Tibbs shirts, I'm coming after you. I'm telling you right now, I'm coming after you. I'm not gonna be quiet. I'll be seeing stuff and I'll be staying quiet. I won't be. All right. Let's get it. I'm so hyped right now. I want to start out by saying something. All season, or half the season, I was really worried about the other guys on our team. I saw Jalen Brunson was him, right? When the first on the show was pointing out that this guy could be an all-star. He's gonna be like an all NBA candidate one day. He definitely got stubbed for the all-star game. But for me, when I'm looking at how this team can be successful, I'm looking at when Jalen Brunson is trapped, because you heard me say it for the last like 30 games. When Jalen Brunson is trapped, can we make plays? Who's going to step up? Because when the ball is in his hands and it's one-on-one in ISO, that man can cook. But what happens when the ball gets out of his hands? And today, RJ Barrett happened. RJ Barrett has arrived. The Bodman has arrived. He played off Brunson's attention perfectly. First play of the game, goes to the hole, finishes over tall players all night long, relentless. Everything that we told him he needed to work on at the beginning of the season, not finishing around the basket, he did that. He did that, competed defensively, finished around the basket, remained aggressive, and took advantage of the extra attention that Jalen Brunson has. Big game from RJ Barrett. One of the biggest games, back-to-back big games. I seen some of y'all talk about, oh, can he do it 2 games in a row? Can he do it? Yes, he can. All right? So shout out to RJ Barrett. Huge game. His coming out party, 26 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And who's itching to talk about the bottom line? I'm gonna hand it off. I'm handing it off today.
I think Ryan should. Ryan has been chronicling RJ Barrett's ups and downs better than any single Knicks analyst in the entire United States. He has been, in my opinion, brilliantly describing why we should not lose faith in the man based on stats, on facts, and objective opinion. So I want to let Ryan go first.
Go ahead. Let's go, Ryan.
Yeah, man. RJ Barrett, you see, this is why, because after games 1 and 2, I understand Barrett was not playing well, but I think for Knicks fans to unfairly point him out as if he was the only guy playing bad in those games in Cleveland, I thought was very unfair. And I pointed it out I was like, at least in those games in Cleveland, RJ Barrett at least played aggressively. Yes. He at least tried to make something happen on offense. He did not play scared in Cleveland. The only difference is that he brought that same energy to New York, and I think with the crowd behind him, that pretty much got him going, and he was able to show up in these 2 games in New York. And RJ Barrett, basically, he just went to his strength. Yeah, his strength is getting to the basket, and the Knicks, I think they made good adjustments to help RJ Barrett get to the basket. They set multiple screens, you know, on near the 3-point line, which allows Barrett to like go to his strong left hand and allow him to get to the basket. And when he's going to the basket, not only is he finishing at the rim in a variety of ways, but he's also passing the ball out as well. And he's made some good passes in this game as well. And he's finishing at the rim. And he's playing good on defense as well. I mean, we've complained about RJ's defense for probably maybe the majority of the season, but he's stepping up on the defensive end as well. And RJ Barrett has proven that he's an integral piece to add, and the reason as to why the Knicks took these 2 home games in New York.
Absolutely.
I think what makes it so special about RJ Barrett is that we drafted him and we've stuck by him and we've seen the really terrible shooting efficiency in shooting splits year after year. But the one thing I think all of us have pointed to is when it's a big moment, a clutch moment, a tie game, you need a bucket to get up or to send to overtime. He has stepped up time and time again. Thanks. He might be 0 for 8 from the 3-point line, but he will hit that one when it matters the most. And I think his teammates have believed in him. You haven't heard of any internal dissension or trade rumors coming from inside the Knicks organization about, you know, him having a bad attitude or being a bad teammate or a locker room cancer. Everything about the kid has been positive. Tibbs has said repeatedly that he has a strong mental fortitude and he doesn't get down on himself, which I think you're starting to see that. And we've been saying over and over, the kid is 22 years old. When I was 22 years old, man, I was 5 hours late to my job because I was getting wasted and trying to pick up chicks at the bar the night before. I was a hot, sloppy mess. That's who, I mean, look at who this kid is at 22. He's a professional baller. He's clutch. He's a great teammate. He's a great human being. He's a great person. So it feels great to be able to criticize him when the evidence before you shows you should, but also celebrate him when the evidence shows you that he deserves it. And tonight, this was his best game of his career today, and we need it bad with Julius Randle, a no-show.
Facts. Now, here's the thing with RJ. You mentioned it earlier, Lee, the big moments. There were some moments in here when we needed a bucket. The third quarter was a pressure cooker moment, and there was a couple people who stepped up in that third quarter. One of those people was RJ Barrett. We couldn't score, and we kind of a little bit frazzled. You think the announcers even mentioned it. He kind of broke the momentum. He got the rebound. We already know the game plan. It's hard to score in these Cavs with a set defense. So he went to the hole. And usually when he's going to the hole and it's 1-on-4, I'm screaming at him to pull it back. Wait for your teammates. But this time I'm just like, you know what? Do it, RJ. You got it going, man. You're already finishing over Jared Allen. You're finishing over two people. Put the pedal to the metal. Stops the bleeding. Gets a layup when we needed it, when we couldn't score for a huge amount of times. RJ Barrett stepped up big when we needed to. So it's 26 points, but a lot of those points were loud points. Usually Jalen Brunson is the guy who stops the bleeding. RJ stopped the bleeding today. So you gotta extra gunshots, RJ Barrett. Like Lee said, it feels even more special because this is homegrown New York talent. When he came here, he said, yo, son, I'm a Knick. And I can imagine when he was drafted by the New York Knicks, he was imagining days like this when guys are chanting his name in the Garden and seeing him perform in the big moments. So big shout out to RJ Barrett. Had a huge game, man. There was a lot of big performances today, a lot, and I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna keep going with it and get to the big shot, man. My man Brunson. I know Mr. Big Shot is usually the name reserved for the aforementioned Chauncey Billups, but Big Shot Brunson is here to stay. 229 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Yeah, rock that JB. Yo, rock that. T-shirt is hard, man. T-shirt is hard. Brunson, man. I had a couple of hot takes on Brunson. I was called crazy when I said Jalen Brunson is an all-star early. Now everybody's on an all-star train. It's called crazy. Now people was like, oh, he's going to be all NBA. Game 1, I told you guys. I believe Jalen Brunson is better than Donovan Mitchell. I do.
Yep.
I do. And I told you guys, listen, it's early right now, but if we win this series, which it looks like we will, we're going to have to revisit that conversation once again, because ESPN and those guys, they came out early and every conversation started with Donovan Mitchell is the best player of the series. Every conversation started like that. And I'm here to tell you guys, no. Donovan Mitchell can get downhill fast. He makes quick decisions, yes. But when the game slows down and the pressure's on the line, there's not many people better than Jalen Brunson in the clutch who can go into that operated system in that paint and cook you, no matter who it is. And in the beginning of the season, longer guys would stop him. Oh, you know how to stop him? Put 2 on him. He's cooking 2. He's passing out double teams. Oh, you know how you stop him? Put a long game with length on him. He's cooking Okoro too. Okoro who? Anybody who is in front of him is barbecue chicken. Okay? You cannot stop this man. And just because he's not fast, just because he's not speedy, just because he can't jump out the gym, does not mean he's not better than other people who can do the same. He outthinks you. He outpivots you. He is the master of acceleration and deceleration. And he is him. He is Jalen Brunson. He is my point guard. And he's going to be the all-star of the New York Knicks.
Jay Ellis, what did I say in the beginning of the season about Jalen Brunson in terms of being a free agent signing?
What'd you say? Remind me.
The best free agent signing since Allen Houston. Let me tell you right now.
Absolutely.
He's going to be better than Allen Houston.
Absolutely.
He will. By the end of his career, he will. And he will be on this team when we win a championship.
Yeah.
Bank it, bet it, book it. 100%. He will be our point guard. He's a dog. I was saying a lot of like F Mark Cuban, like I hate Mark. You know what? God bless that bum. Because his bum IQ, his terrible business acumen, his ass ability to build contender around Luka Doncic helped him drop the ball, botch it, destroy that relationship, and got us Jalen Brunson. So you know what, Mr. Cuban? I appreciate you, brother. I've been dogging you a lot in the media right now. I'm gonna step back. I'm actually gonna send you a box of donuts to your office this week. And you know what? The donuts gonna spell out one word, 3 letters: B-U-M. Let's go.
Man, you gotta be losing sleep at night. You could have signed this man for what, 52 million?
Cheap. Pennies on the dollar. Cheap.
Fumbled that bad, bro.
Fumbled.
Man's trash is mother man's treasure, man. They hurting right now. Shout out to Luca hurting. I feel you, my guy. I feel you. You probably gonna be next to exit soon. I'm gonna hold you.
We'll welcome you with open arms, my friend. Let's start the dynasty now.
Listen, I'm to the point where our team depth is so crazy. I want to be very careful on getting the right superstar in the right circumstance because of our team depth. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that. We just got a super chat. We will also look back and say the best trade never made. I can't pronounce that. It's like 2 Egyptian signs. I don't know what the hell that name is, but my guy, you're 100% right. We should address the Donovan Mitchell no trade. That's a huge, important milestone for this season.
Yeah.
Fact.
Stephen A.
Call him out.
Fact.
Stephen A, who all of a sudden is a Knicks fan again. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I just want to add just a few things about Brunson because y'all pretty much said everything about Brunson today. Brunson has shown that he is a better clutch player than Donovan Mitchell. He just is, and this is the second series in a row where Brunson is outplaying Donovan Mitchell, and then on top of that, this is why I said this is outside, because Cleveland made an adjustment in the third quarter that allowed him to get back into the game, where they started to attack Brunson on defense, and they had Brunson on Garland, and that's how Garland was able to get off, because Garland was basically just taking on Brunson and pretty much finding his rhythm and scoring. And Thibs made a lineup change in that third quarter, which pushed Brunson into I want to say it was Osman. I think he was guarded.
Yep, it was Osman.
Yeah, he made a lineup change to hide Brunson on defense again, and then once that happened, that's when the Knicks started to play better, and Brunson was able to go off on offense as well. And Brunson just had a good game today. He's proven that he is the top clutch player in this series, and y'all are right. Brunson is all I'm saying is this dude Donovan Mitchell, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to hear the name Jalen Brunson, because it's the second year in a row where Jalen Brunson's out playing him in a playoff series in the first round.
Absolutely.
I heard so many god-awful takes before the season started from a lot of non-Knick fans. You always know when someone doesn't watch the Knicks when they say something about 3 lefties. Anything about a left-handed player or 3 left-handed players on the court, that's a guaranteed sign that person, 1, doesn't watch the Knicks, 2, outside they watch basketball, and 3, probably have more than one bum-ass opinion on it in the NBA. That is such an ass take, because our 3 lefties at different times this season have balled out, and 2 of the 3 of them won us this game at night, having no issue spacing the floor and finding their spots.
Absolutely. These guys don't know. Not everybody knows our team, man. I was arguing with the Cavs player the last game. He was trying to tell me that Jalen Brunson wasn't the leader of the team and it was Julius Randle. I'm like, dog, you don't watch the Knicks. You don't.
Yep.
Just stop debating me, because you watch 2 games a year, and you just be 4 games a year. Sorry, because when our team plays yours, and you watch ESPN highlights. Don't tell me about my team. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you didn't know that Jalen Brunson was the leader of the team, he knows today. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, and it brings me back to, I think, because on Twitter, a lot of people be posting a bunch of trash, and Knicks fans on Twitter be calling them out. And I recall one of Lee's tweets earlier this week where this guy pretty much said that game 1, that Cleveland played their worst, but then the Knicks played near their best in that game and won. I was like, that's how people do not watch the Knicks, and they just comment anything just to comment, because I'm like, the Knicks didn't play their best in the game 1 either. They were able to steal game 1. And I'm just like, people just be saying anything out their ass, and it's clear that they don't watch the Knicks. They just comment just to comment.
Randle has still been playing like ass. We didn't even talk about that. I'm not even gonna open those can of worms yet, because we got callers, and they might want to open up that worm.
Right.
I'm gonna leave some topics for y'all to talk about. I'm gonna read the super chats, and then I'm gonna get to these callers, because this game has got me so hyped. I can really talk all day. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be a point guard. I'm trying to talk because I can really do. I'm so hyped. I can really do probably a 2-hour show by myself today. But I'm
yo,
gonna
I'm gonna be dead ass. Like, honestly, it's hard for me to analyze these games because when I'm watching these games, I'm watching like a damn fan, and like my emotions are going up and down all damn game. And it's like I'm just so freaking hyped. It's like sometimes when the podcast comes, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck to talk about. I'm just so hyped. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's an all-time Ryan quote. All-time Ryan quote. Man. Oh my God, I'm dead.
Oh my gosh. Why? Oh man, YouTube abs don't kill us, please. All right.
My fault.
Oh, I love that.
I apologize for the profanity, but I'm just hyped, man. I'm just hyped.
I need that on a shirt. Let's go.
Oh man. Yo, let's get to these super chats. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something. I need those super chats to get. My computer is officially too old. That's why you've been seeing all these choppy videos lately. I talked to a guy today. He was just like, yo, it's time to go that thing away. So I'm getting a new computer. So super chats will be helping going to the computer fund and to pay the writers. So shout out to you guys who's helping out right now. All right. Shout out to Paris who sent a $2 super chat, said, send me the bill for RJ's salary today. It's on me. Come to the altar. We gotta come to the altar. The RJ Barrett haters might have to come to the altar today. We already did it with IQ. We did it with Randall. The RJ Barrett haters might have to come to the altar today. It's still not too late to get on the bandwagon and love this man like he should. So come to the altar. Put your RJ hate sins away. What's up,
Jay? I'm coming to the altar today too. We don't have a one-on-one by Tom Thibodeau. I'm coming to the altar, baby.
You coming to the altar?
I'm coming to the altar by Tom Thibodeau.
I gotta give you a hug, my brother. All right, we had our battles. I told you. I am coming, man.
I'm getting on my knees. I'm asking for forgiveness. My sins, Tibbs. I was wrong about you. Listen, you changed. That must be said. He evolved. He is not the same coach. He's not doing the same things right now that he was doing back in December. This isn't like, oh, all of a sudden, like my eye, the scales of my eyes went away. No, he changed. So it has been wrong in the last couple of months, and I've said this repeatedly, to continue calling for his head when he's been coaching his ass off. Now he's doing it in the playoffs. Cool. This might be the best series he's ever coached in his entire coaching tenure. He's only beat a higher seed one other time in 2013. This will be the second time. And to me, this is a bigger series. This Cavs team's better than that Nets team back in 2013 that was old and veteran and washed up. This is a good team with a superstar and Donovan Mitchell in quotations. This is a great Tibbs performance. And that benching of Randle is the single greatest adjustment I have seen Tibbs made in the 3 years he's been a head coach. Because I use the word symbiotic because the way that they enable each other, he cut that cord tonight and benched them in favor of Obi Toppin in a playoff game, a must-win at home. Yo, that was the best move in Tibbs' career. My hat's off to him. Never saying fire Tibbs again. He's done his job in New York. Now let's do some more. Let's go.
I was trying to slow walk the dog into that conversation, but Lee like, wow, whatever, it's cool. We here. You know what? I don't even think it's the hardest. I don't think it's the greatest move, but I think it was the hardest move for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he's made a lot of great tactical adjustments, but I think, and Ryan G, your camera just went blurry all of a sudden. But
I think it's a light behind me. That's why I can't.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, I think he's made a lot of great, impactful tactical moves this whole series. But the fact that he benched Randle for Obi is kind of just like you said, Lee, cutting the cord. It's like a security blanket for him, It's a comfort. You know what? I'm used to doing this every day at 8 a.m. out of habit. I'm gonna just keep doing this until he finally let that go today. And it worked out for us for the back.
Me and Raw disagree on a lot, but one thing we agreed on, this would be the best season for Tibbs as a head coach of the Knicks. I believe that going into the season, that he was going to finally evolve and change because he had the point guard to take the offensive steaming out of his hands. And sure enough, here we are, baby. Round 2, let's go.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Let me get to these rest of these super chats. 499 super chat from Russell Reed says, KOT, we outside, Tibbs outside. Tibbs finally paired with a competent front office. Chicago front office, Minnesota Tibbs as president. Chicago front office trash. Minnesota Tibbs as president trash. Leon Rhodes, Ninja P, Parrot, fire. Let's go. Yeah. Shout out to the people who's around for the Ninja P area. Shout out I'm bringing Ninja P back. He's coming back. Another $2 super chat from Echelon saying the $2 super chat says, we will also look back and say the best trade never made. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's get to these calls. We got 3 callers up. First caller up is Ken. What's going on, Ken?
Yeah.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey, fellas. Actually, it's JR. I'm calling from Florida.
Oh, what's going on,
by
JR?
way of Hempstead. Yeah, by way of Hempstead, New York, BXer. It's been a minute since I called you. J. Ellis, YNG, Lee, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We outside!
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna keep it. Yo, I told you, J. Ellis, I haven't called in the whole season. I've been listening every show. I don't miss a show. Last time I spoke to you, I was complaining about the way they were using Evan Fournier.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a minute, man. It's been a minute since I called, man, and I have to let you know, man. I gotta talk to you, J. Ellis. I gotta talk to you, brother.
Talk to me.
Couple things, man. First thing is, man, you got a real one with Lee, man. You got a real one. When I saw Lee with the KOT hat and SNY putting on,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yo, this dude is a real one, man.
That's a fact.
And I got to give you props, too, the SNY contribution. I mean, you guys are going places, man. I love the show. And I had to come here because this is the only place where I know I'm with real Knicks fans. Not no corporate, nothing. This is real Knicks fans.
Let's
Knicks
go.
love. This is like real right now.
That's right.
This is the only place.
Facts.
Let me know. Now, second, man. I got to just say, man, I mean, we're all around the same age. I'm like my early 30s. I'm sure you guys are around the same age, you know, so we experienced something.
I just look a little
Me
young.
personally, somehow I fell in love with Eddie Curry post-ups and Kurt Thomas hard fouls, and like that was like I was too young to appreciate the you and me. And I'm still one that it still stings to me a little bit that they didn't let Donnie Walsh execute his plan, because I was just happy to get contracts like Malik Rose and Jerome James off the book. and when the whole thing happened with Carmelo, that we gave away our whole team for Melo, I love Melo. Don't get me wrong. But I always have that compete where it's like, why you had to be greedy, bro? Why you couldn't let us keep Gallo and Ill Will and everybody? Why you had to do that?
Yeah.
With that being said, Jalen Brunson has quickly become my favorite Knick of all time. I love this man.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers call him Jesus Brunson. Our group chat is full of photo chops of Jesus and all different posts with Brunson's hair. We love this man.
Oh my
Brunson is the truth. He is the real truth.
Nah, it's a
There's
fact.
nothing nobody can tell me. He is the truth. And I gotta say this, man, because I know you guys feel the happiness that I feel, that every true Knicks fan feels. I'm just happy that I got my 9-year-old son here becoming a fan during these playoffs. He don't gotta fall in love with Eddie Curry like that. He don't got, like, when Shannon Sharp be talking, not picking up, it still hurts me. They're like, yo, you're my Rook. What you doing, Rook? Like, that's how I feel. But like, now my son gets to fall in love with a team like this. Man.
And guess
listen,
what?
Man.
And guess what? The Nets just got swept the other day.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. It's 100. We are, yo. Let me tell you this. My younger brother's a Miami Heat fan, and I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what I've been telling him. Let them get through the first round. I've been praying. I hate Miami over any other team, but I've been telling him, please take care of the Bucks, or at least hurt Giannis. I mean, I'm sorry, don't hurt Giannis, but at the same time, hurt Giannis so they're not 100%. So we can get through the second round 100%. Let us see Boston in there. Let us see Boston in the ECF. We're going to the finals this year. Let it be known.
Oh my
Let
God.
us see Boston in the ECF. We're going all the way. Nobody can tell me nothing. That man Brunson, he got ice in his veins. He ain't scared of nobody. Anybody from the Western Conference can get it. Bullets for everybody. Much love for the KOT. All right, let's get it. We in the building.
Let's go. We outside, baby. I'm not with injuring Giannis. I'm not for injury on everybody else. We can omit everything else, though. I'm with that. I'm with everything else, though. Ooh, Knicks fans, we hyped today. We hyped. Oh man, Ooh, we didn't even get to the rest of the game. Next caller up. What you got? I don't even know who's on anymore.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Big Reaper. Thanks for taking my call.
What's going on, Big Reaper?
Yo, I'm calling today because I'm coming to the altar. You know,
Mm.
I've definitely sinned.
Come on,
As
brother.
a Knicks fan, with
Let's
what I said about Tom Thibodeau,
go.
called him a hypocrite.
So
I said he never holds, Julius Randle accountable, but all that ended today. For the first time in his tenure, he actually held Julius accountable today. And it doesn't even really have a ton to do with like Obi didn't score a ton of points or anything, but Obi did rebound and he was tolerable on defense.
Yep.
And then also he provides a lot of spacing. Just the offense is just better, when he's out there. So I do hope Julius plays better, going forward. But I think it's a big deal for Tibbs finally holding Julius accountable, because I didn't even realize he only had 2 rebounds by the time he got benched. It's just he really wasn't doing much today. It was, it's pretty hard to see, but the other thing is I think the other caller was talking about how Miami, they're up like 2-1 on the Bucks.
Yeah.
Giannis is hurt for the first time, in I don't know how many years. I've been watching the Knicks since John Starks did that 360 layup on the fast break.
Yeah.
So that's a long time ago. So it's the first time in over 20 years, more than 20 years, going on 30 years. Feels like the Knicks actually, it seems like there's a path.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got to play the game, but there seems to be a path to the final for the first time in a long time. It's not it doesn't feel as much like a pipe dream.
No.
So, but big up to the Knicks. Great game on their part. And great show, guys. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Shout out to my guy, Big Reaper.
Big Reaper.
Long time listener. Long time. 2016 listener. All right, because we've been around for 2016 for you guys who didn't know. All right, original OGs. Okay. Woo. All right. I don't know if you guys have anything to say. Could be another caller, or you want to get to the next call.
We go to the next caller.
All right, next caller up. My man Edson from LI. I thought it was Edson Sean for a second. What's going on, Edson? Let me know what you want to talk about, sir.
All right, before we talk about anything, guess who's outside on God's green earth?
Who's outside?
We outside. Outside on God's green earth, everyone.
Okay, we are on Earth. Okay.
We on Earth, man. This is a great time. Man, outside of our own playoff games, but the way things are coming down, it is no joke that round 1 may flip the table in the script how things going on for us in the Eastern Conference. And that gives me joy. That gives us leeway to actually compete, but the way we are going at this pace, with some minor, tweaks and whatnot, but Tips has shown that he can adjust.
Yeah.
It was his growth moment. And like Reed said it, and everyone said, that's the elephant in the room. It's like saying, what are you going to do with Julius? He did the unthinkable. He broke a pattern. And this is going to add on in the future.
Understood.
Even regardless how far we take it to the postseason, it's going to come a long way. And it's going to influence about what decisions are going to be made after this is all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what it was all about in the beginning, okay? The best trade never made. We proved the haters wrong. Throughout the season, we were not against the media per se. We were against ourselves amongst the fan base to say who must stay, who must go. And arbitrarily just saying, oh, we got to get this superstar. It's like, what are we talking about? And now, after things said and done, all those voices have silenced, and guess who's outside the loudest? Us.
Yeah.
The level-headed, the patient, and we are outside, and we are still here. Okay?
There we go.
Yes, sir.
God bless everyone. God bless everyone. All right? Let's get it going. We're taking this, game 5.
Let's go. All right. Thanks for calling in, my man. Game 5 in the books. I call it gentleman sweep loading. All right, get your suits ready, get dressed up with your best top hat. Gentleman sweep. It's loading. Wrap this thing up. Wrap it up, B, like Dave Chappelle said. All right.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B. All right. Let's take this last call before we move on. Ben. You got Ben from Queens. Queens in the building. What's going on, Ben?
Yo, Jay Ellis, what's good, man?
What's good, man?
We all outside. What the hell? You know what it is.
Yeah, we know.
Now, I want to say this. Back in September, I was the last caller on one of your shows, and I said I'm glad that trade did not happen because they wanted to fleece us of our bench. They wanted Obi.
Facts.
They wanted some RJ, and they wanted quickly and 4 picks.
Too much.
I'm like, yo, what kind of people are going to put on the court?
Too much.
It's going to be Mitchell and Brunson?
Too much.
Now, look at who's leading us. Obi. Quickly didn't score too well, but he gave us the defense. He's a dog.
Yeah.
And look at what RJ did. You see, now I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. I don't care. Hate me again. We could make a run. Tell him. We could go there. I'm looking at Fifth Avenue. I'm looking at going crazy. I'm looking at an ocean of blue and orange. All of that. Because the teams in the East ain't built like that right now. The teams in the West ain't built like that right now. There's something special brewing right now. We outside. That's it. Gunshot.
Gunshot. We outside. We in the book. I heard you, brother.
Yo, I told you guys like a month ago, Eastern Conference Finals. And I told you guys about 2 weeks ago, Finals. Both are happening this year.
Yo.
100%.
This is some weird, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was crazy, but I'm enjoying the moment. I would much rather go through a fully healthy team because I feel like I don't want no asterisks on our wins. That's how I feel. But if we're gonna go this way, then cool. We can go this way. I'm still going to enjoy the moment. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the same, like I'm still enjoying the moment. I'm still enjoying the growth of our team because our team is in fact growing. And one of the things I'm most interested in seeing is how far we can really take this going, facing up on another team in another series, going to another level. I want to see if this RJ Barrett game carries. I already know what Jalen Brunson does. I want to see what the best 1-2 punch big men in the league and Hart and Mitch do. And I want to see if Julius Randle actually wakes up because Randle's still is sleeping right now. He still hasn't put together a Randle game. So it just makes it seem crazy because it was a part in the season. It was part in the first half. We were only up 10. And I'm looking at the game going, we should be up 20. We missing free throws. Randall's missing shots. He's not playing well. Like, the guys are lucky to even be in the game, like, straight up. Because our second best players have been playing like trash. But I'm hoping Randle wakes up at a certain point, for real.
You know, I don't think anyone considers the Toronto Raptors championship with an asterisk. And they got very lucky that both KD and Klay Thompson got injured in the finals.
True.
And weren't able to continue that series. And people still did Toronto like, yo, that was an unbelievable championship.
True.
So injuries are a part of the game. Knock on wood, none happened to us or any other teams that we face in the playoffs. But a lot of teams right now in the East are decimated by major injuries. Hero's out for the Heat, and Jimmy Butler just injured his ass. Giannis is injured. Like the East, Embiid's injured. I really believe we're going to make the run to the finals. I feel in the spirit, a 9-9, this team, you have a connection with Tibbs, connection with Rick Brunson. I feel it, man. I think it's very real and very plausible. And we're so deep that we can sustain bad games from our main rotation players. Randle and IQ have played horrible. IQ's been great on defense. Randle's been terrible overall this entire series, and we're up 3-1 in a dominant fashion. Like, man, the sky is really the limit with this team.
Absolutely. And I want to get into another reason why we're even up too. Quentin Grimes went down, and this man, Josh Hart, stepped up. 19 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 assists. Shut down Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was only able to score, 2 points in the fourth quarter? in the second half, he didn't score at all except for those 2 points.
Yeah.
Up to like 11 in the first half. Donovan Mitchell is going to see Josh Hart in his nightmares.
Yep.
The way he's been shooting. Donovan Mitchell has not played well in MSG this year at all. The other guys, to your point, have really stepped up. And it's funny, Josh Hart didn't necessarily shoot all the way well, but the offensive rebounding, besides our 1-2 punch in Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein, the offensive rebounding in Josh Hart in the fourth quarter was phenomenal. Got us a bunch of second chance points and got a chance for us to hit some dagger threes in that fourth quarter. And as you know, like we might not know, but our team is number 1 in hitting threes after offensive rebounds. And we showed why in that fourth quarter when Josh Hart and other guys were in the game.
That's an awesome stat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most definitely. And I just want to jump in on Josh Hart too, because he played great defense on Donovan Mitchell, but it wasn't just that though. And again, I bring it back to Thibs because Thibs made a lot of great reads in the games, especially when Donovan Mitchell was out there. Like, because, for example, when the Cavs went to their bench and Donovan Mitchell was out there, like Thibs surveyed the floor and saw that Donovan Mitchell's only their real true threat out there on offense. And on situations like those, he actually sent double teams at Donovan Mitchell. They gave Donovan Mitchell a whole lot of different looks today as well. But throwing the double teams at him and, or showing double and don't double him and things of that nature. And I think they really confused him today and made life really difficult for Donovan Mitchell to go off. And I mean, any game where you hold Donovan Mitchell 5 of 18 from the field, 11 points. And, and we argue about Donovan Mitchell and say that, he may not be a clutch player and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you look at the stats, he is one of the highest scoring guards, or I should say one of the highest scoring players in playoff history when it comes to the playoffs. So he's definitely capable of dropping points in the playoffs. And the fact that the Knicks threw so many different looks at him, doubled him at the right times, and made life so difficult. For him to only score 11 points in one game is amazing. And Josh Hart definitely stepped up to the plate tonight. Great defense. I love the fact that, because the Cavaliers can play great defense as well. So the fact that when Josh Hart on fast breaks, when he gets rebounds or like when he, when the Knicks get a rebound and he pushes the pace and things of that nature. And I like the fact that he does that because the Knicks do need easy baskets especially against a tough Cleveland defense. The only thing about Josh Hart is that sometimes he gets out of control on some of those fast breaks. He just throws up shots hoping to get a foul.
Yeah.
But besides that, like Josh Hart was amazing tonight. And the fact that the Knicks have IQ not playing well, Randle not playing well, even Grimes is out today. I mean, damn, like,
yeah.
That just goes to show you, if these guys play well, Cleveland has no chance in hell to beat the Knicks. No chance in hell.
Jay, do you remember what I said when we got Josh Hart?
You said he was the best trade made outside of Kevin Durant.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. And I'm going to keep this going about the others, man. Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein.
My guy. Unbelievable.
Both, listen, 1-2 punch center combo, right hand jab, like these guys were freaking phenomenal. It was like Mitch took over the first half, Hartenstein took over the second half. Mitch first half out-battled Jared Allen and freaking Mobley at the same damn time for the whole first half, getting blocks, rebounding them, making those guys look like small, making them look insignificant. It looked a little demoralizing, man. I remember when there was debate when Jared Allen was on the Brooklyn Nets and people were saying who's better, Jared Allen or Mitchell Robinson. I think Mitch still kind of remembers that debate because I think he takes that matchup perfect. And there was a video of him talking about how rattled they were. They look rattled again. And the coach can play it off. Bigger staff, they just, it's the moment. And he just hyped up. Nah, they were rattled. And it's funny because Jeff Van Gundy was trying to shoot them bail too to make it sound like they weren't rattled. He just worded it differently. You know, it's kind of like when he's like, she ain't ugly. She's just not attractive. It's the same thing. And Mitch put it on him. And the same could be said for Hartenstein too. Came in at one of the best adjustments made was that third quarter when Garland came in the game. They put IQ on Garland, and as soon as that happened, Garland was cooled off. And then Hartenstein was entered at the same time, and he got key blocks, key steals, Donovan Mitchell at the rim. He changed the complexion of the game. I know you want to say something. Go ahead, Lee.
Leon Rose is executive of the year. Been saying this, wrote about it. Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson. Name me an exec that had better moves than that. My guy turned us from missing the playoffs and missing the lottery, being in purgatory this past season. I mean, Trevor Keels, RIP, man.
Yeah.
To having a team that has a legit shot at Eastern Conference Finals. Unbelievable job by Leon Rose, bouncing back from the horrible Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier summer to really addressing what the team needs and realizing I got to get Tibbs guys. Yeah. I got to bring in guys that not only are his style of guys, but have another level that he can unlock. And man, he has unlocked Josh Hart's three-point shooting ability. He's unlocked Jalen Brunson's three-point volume. He's unlocked Isaiah Hartenstein's high post passing, finding cutters, developing that floater game. That teardrop he has is automatic.
Yep.
Hats off, Leon Rose. You are my executive of the year, baby. I love the moves that you've made. And you know what? Good on you for not firing Tibbs. Good on you for ignoring people like me. Multiple people all over Twitter. They were like hashtags to fire Tibbs.
Yeah.
I don't know what conversation you had with that man, but whatever you told him worked because he trusts you and he adjusted. Props.
Yeah, absolutely.
Facts. And I do want to throw one stat out there. Today, Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley only combined for 11 rebounds. Mitch had 11 rebounds by himself.
Big man Mitch. Worth every penny. All right. Worth every penny. This is a masterclass on patience. When you see things changing and you don't get the results, it doesn't mean that things aren't changing. Like, this is why when I talk to certain guys or talk to people, sometimes it's more about the process than the results. Of course, you want to get to the results, but the process is almost just as important as the results, because you can keep repeating that process over and over again until you perfect it, and eventually the results is gonna come. But sometimes, it's kind of like, what's your road to being a millionaire? If I find $1 million on the ground, I'm a millionaire. It's great, but did I grind to get that million? Did I figure out how to manage $1 million? Do I even know what to do with $1 million once I get it? You know what I mean? So it's like getting that instant million doesn't mean anything, because you can lose it in an instant because you haven't gone through that process. The process is important. Now, someone who's grinding their way from a little bit has learned the lessons and now has the million. Now you can keep the million. Now you can repeat the process. Now you can teach everybody else. So don't get blinded by the result. Oh, he hit a bunch of threes. What type of shots was he taking when he hit a bunch of threes? Were they good shots? Were they bad shots? Were he just hot that day? If he gets the process of getting the threes and getting the clear looks, that's a better look, because then it's more sustainable. So don't get too bogged down with just the result. You gotta keep in mind the process. All right.
Breach.
Yeah. Salute to the chat. We got a bunch of super chats today, so I'm gonna get through these. And thank you guys, because Jay Ellis needs a new computer. And I'm getting one, so this is definitely gonna help. All right. Let's see. We got a bunch. I gotta scroll up. Hold on. Okay, y'all y'all balling today. Hold on. We got Gamer Channel sends a bunch of $2 super chats and a $5 super chats that says "We outside." So shout out to you, Gamer.
Love Gamer's Channel.
Yo, Gamer, check out the Gamer Channel fit on Twitter and Instagram when he has the KOT snapback match with the Knick gear and the matching blue and orange sneakers. It's
fire.
Fresh. Shout out to Echelon, who says Josh Hart turned Spider Mitchell into Spider Ham. Okay, that's a Family Guy reference, right? Spider Ham. That's a Family Guy reference. All right. I'm mad I know that. All right. Another $5 super chat from Gamer Channel says, "Let's show Hartenstein some love. His hustle, his defense, and his heart has been clutch for us." Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who sent the super chat and supporting this show, man. If you like the show, subscribe to the channel. I'm letting you know this is truly live. After this show ends, you're not gonna be able to see this version, but I'm gonna re-upload it. Okay. Thank the YouTube algorithms for this game we're playing. All right. But thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you love the channel, please subscribe to the channel and support and shit. All right. Cool.
Yep.
All right. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you want to get off your chest about the game, about Tibbs, about Leon Rose, about any player? We didn't mention McBride. We did not mention McBride.
Yeah. I got an apology. I've been really, enjoying and relishing all the W's I picked up this season with my early predictions, my first year on the show. I got to apologize to my man, Jay Ellis. I took a massive L in one debate that we had. My man, Julius Randle, is not clutch. I apologize, Jay Ellis, for arguing tooth and nail about his assists and his rebounds and his steals and his blocks, because none of that means anything when you are absolute ass and disappear for the second playoff series in a row. It's the elephant in the room, man. It's sad and depressing. And all this Eastern Conference finals talk that I've been doing, that shit ain't happening if Julius Randle continues to play this way. We cannot depend on Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein super games to get past the second round.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get past the Bucks or the Heat if Julius Randle continues to play this way. We need Randle to at least match his regular season output. I mean, it would be a hope and a prayer for him to exceed it, but I was absolutely wrong about Julius Randle being a clutch player. I'm going to say here live on the show so everyone can hear me. Jay Ellis, you won that debate. I was wrong, brother. My bad. I hope he turns it around, and I still have faith that he will.
I accept your apology, bro. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I was afraid of Julius Randle, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I was afraid of him getting in his head and not being able to live up to the moment. I was disappointed. Here's the thing about Randle. I'm not as mad at missed shots as I am of lack of effort. Like, to me, that really pisses me off. Like, you came back, you had a layoff, you haven't played ball in 2 weeks. I kind of already said that, I can see him having a shaky start to the playoffs because he hasn't played in 2 weeks. I already said that, right? Granted, by this game 4, I think he should have some type of rhythm, to be honest with you. So I'm not, but I can still kind of overlook that. But when you start the third quarter, right? You've been rested. You've been sitting for 15, 12 minutes, however long the halftime is. First play of the game, Darius Garland gets to the paint and shoots a floater over you. You don't even have your hand up. You would just look at him and then just turn around. Get off the court.
Yeah.
This is too important of a game for you to pull that lackadaisical stuff off. And this shout out to Tibbs. Him being benched for Obi, who actually plays, is what we've been begging for seasons. This is why back last season I was screaming fire Tibbs, even though I changed my mind now. It was because of stuff like that, and I'm glad he sat him down today because he needs to get it together, and that's just offensively. Because I can still halfway overlook it, even though personally I want him to do better. But I cannot excuse 2 rebounds and no defense. I can't excuse it. So,
and you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. And I'm only going to say this because there's a decision that has to be made this summer. We have all been anti-trade this person. Like RJ has a bad game. None of us have ever been trade RJ, or Brunson's over dribbling. Oh, he's an overpay. We've never gone that far on individual players for this team. But there's a decision that has to be made this summer on Obi Toppin. And if Julius Randle continues to play the way that he is, and Obi Toppin continues to play the way that he has, I think that the front office should side with Obi Toppin and look to move Randle. Because if all that regular season talk, that's cool that you can 20, 10, and 5 in regular season, all NBA, whatever. I want playoffs. And right now, Obi Toppin is outperforming Randle in the playoffs. And this is embarrassing for Julius Randle. If this continues until we're eventually either win the championship or we're eliminated, Randle's got to go. You better give Obi Toppin the extension.
I'm not going that far. I still think the playoffs definitely mean more, but I still think you can't ignore the whole 82-game season. I hope he gets it together. I hope he responds from that benching for sure, because he himself said when we got rid of our first coach before Tibbs got here that he needs a coach to hold him accountable. Now you're being held accountable. What are you going to do? The ball is in your court. I think it's still, he had one good quarter so far this whole series when he scored 19 points. And it wasn't just good because he was scoring. He was playing defense, He was playing defense. And I'll even say game 1, he played defense. Game 2, he kind of wavered game 2, didn't he?
Yep.
I feel like I was complaining about his defense on game 2. Game 3, the defense was better. Game today, it was booty cheeks. So he right now defensively, his defensive effort is half and half. His offensive effort, his offense hasn't been good. I need him to get it together. He's better than this. I don't think Julius. I don't think Julius Randle is a clutch player, but I do believe he's a better player than this. I think he still can be better in this series and in the playoffs in general.
I agree with you. We're no longer a developing team. Pitch for Timmy saying we shouldn't be having this conversation. I disagree. I disagree with him and Alexander. I think it's an important conversation to have because our best player of all the stars that are in the playoffs right now is playing the absolute worst. And a decision like this summer, we have to decide, do we give Obi Toppin the extension or do we try to trade him? There's no way we start the season, that's training camp, with both Obi and Randle on the roster. It's not happening. We can't afford it. We got to pay Josh Hart. We got to pay Emmanuel quickly. I think Obi Toppin's packaged for another perimeter player this summer. But if Randle does not show up at all in the playoffs, that's back-to-back postseason, like horrible performances, choke jobs. How can you continue to invest in him when you have someone who's showing you they do have potential to perform higher in the playoffs than doing the regular season with Obi Toppin? It's a discussion, I think, by the end of the postseason, the front office, whether we want to have it or not, is inconsequential. The front office will be having it.
Randle's not going anywhere. It's not happening. Randle is not going anywhere, especially not after this season. So this is a conversation amongst us as fans, but in the front office is not moving Julius. That's just absolutely not.
I disagree.
I don't want to get in this repetition thing of knee-jerk reactions either. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see what's going to happen. I want to see if he bounces back.
Sure.
I don't want to he had a great season, all-star season, MVP season. He said MVP season. I don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater because of these couple of games.
But Jay, I'm not saying trade him now. That's not my
off season. You're saying in this off
yes.
season.
Once the playoffs have concluded and we have his full body of work this postseason, you have to look at that body of work and say, is this a player worth investing in as our starting power forward?
I think
then the conversation will happen. I'm just bringing it up now because he's played like ass.
Right. I think it's too knee jerk to trade him in the offseason after this. I think it's too knee jerk. Yeah. Just like I thought it was too knee jerk to fire Tibbs and all this. We gotta slow down.
I mean, the front office was going to fire Tibbs until he changed. So let's be honest and realistic with the situation. That wasn't just a fan thing. The front office was, Ian Bedley reported, we're looking to move on from him. But he made the changes he needed. Now Randle hasn't made the changes that he needed to prove that he's the same player in the postseason he is in the regular season. I believe he will.
Heard you. Anything to add to this, Ryan?
I mean, yeah, I was just maybe I'll go back and forth on the topic.
Your volume is low, Ryan. I'm not sure.
Huh?
Your volume is a little low. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Okay. The only thing I'll say is this. I mean, he has been underwhelming in the playoffs so far. It is disappointing that he has played this way so far in the playoffs. I forgot who mentioned it. I forgot where I heard it from. I don't know if it was on social media. I don't know if it was on the sports show that I was watching. But someone did make a mention that in the past when Julius Randle was hurt, and he came back from a long layoff of being hurt, and he played bad like the first few games or so. And I think someone asked him a question about why, like about his bad play. And Julius Randle mentioned something along the lines of like he's just struggling to find a rhythm since he's had a long layoff due to the injury. Now based on what I heard from that, I'm assuming at this moment it's because he was out with the ankle injury and he's struggling to find a rhythm at the moment. What I'm hoping is that something clicks for him and he eventually gets back into his rhythm to where he's going to look like Julius Randle in the regular season.
Yeah.
But what I'm hoping is that with the benching in the fourth game, that is going to light a fire in him. And that when game 5 comes in Cleveland, because I mean, no matter what nobody says about Julius Randle, the Knicks are not going to win game 5 in Cleveland if Julius Randle has another bad game. They're going to need Julius Randle to step up and provide some help because the Knicks are already outplaying the Cavs in the backcourt.
Yeah.
They're going to need Julius Randle to step up because anyhow Julius Randle steps up, I think they take game 5 in Cleveland and the series is over. So they're going to need Julius Randle down the line, especially if the Knicks are going to go far in the playoffs. Now, this whole trading Julius Randle thing, I'm not fully on board with that yet because like Jalen says, I do think it's a knee-jerk reaction. There's more playoffs to go, especially if the Knicks get by the Cavaliers, then, there's a second round. If the Knicks get by the second round, and they go further, there's going to be more games for Julius Randle to show his worth. But if he sticks up the whole playoffs, then I do believe that you may have to have some discussions within the front office, saying that if you want to go forward with Julius Randle, because I do agree his play in the regular season is very important. And Julius Randle contributed to a lot. And Julius Randle was a big reason as to why the Knicks won 47 games this past season. Yeah. He played a major role in that. But the major thing is you need him to step up in the playoffs because he is essentially the second best player on the Knicks roster. And I don't think he can go far in the playoffs if the second best player on the roster is not producing the way he's producing in the regular season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and just to address the chat, I am not saying trade Randle now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if he continues to play at the level he's playing with, Tibbs has to bench him in 4 quarters for the rest of the playoffs. That conversation needs to be had this summer between who do you invest in, Obi or Randle. I think he will turn it around. I think he will bounce back. And whether they play Milwaukee or Miami, it won't matter. I think Randle will go off.
Yeah. And let's hope Randle goes off because we need you, Randle. We do. All right. Shout out to the people in the chat, man. Hope you enjoyed the discussion of the show. Shout out to Miles McBride. We didn't really give a big. Miles McBride could have easily played longer. This is one of the weird. Shout out to Fritz who pointed this out. It was one of the weirdest timeouts ever. The kids came in the game. Miles McBride was in the game, and we were up by 5, and the kids kind of pushed it up to 10, right? And they were the Cavs were a little disjointed, and Tibbs calls timeout and allows the other players to get back in the game. And I was kind of wondering, like, why? But Miles McBride played amazing defense, all right? There was a sequence where McBride and IQ were both kind of trapping Donovan Mitchell and making him kind of frazzled. And then there was another play where Donovan Mitchell was trying to, like, go to the hole and draw a foul, and McBride defended him perfectly, avoided the contact, and was able to kind of get, like, a foul call in return after Mitchell missed a shot. I just want to give props to McBride, who I was worried about, I'm not gonna lie, because he didn't look like he lost his rhythm when we were playing the Pacers in those last games that didn't mean anything. But he stepped up today in his few minutes when we played a big game in game 4 versus the Cavs. So shout out to Miles McBride. All right. That's the show, guys. Lee, let them know, man. Where can find you, sir?
at _ Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. And shout out to my pops. That was probably the most fun I've ever had watching its playoff game. I know I only have a handful to point to in the last 2 decades, but that was a hell of a time, man. Love you, pops. Thanks for watching the game with me.
All right. And Ryan G, let him know who can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLI. And you can also find me on Instagram at Sir G's Corner. You can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
All right. And you already know, find us on the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook. Definitely, you got to do that. Listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Wherever you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to the KOT Show. So definitely do that. All right. And get your snapbacks at theknickoftimeshow.com. That is theknickoftimeshow.com. Just go to the site, hit catalog button at the top. Boom. Get your merch, snapbacks. Good to go. All right. So shout out to you guys for supporting the show, supporting KOT. And yeah, man, let's close this baby out. Let's close it out. We got a job to do. We got a job to do on Wednesday. So, gentlemen, sweep loading. Get on your Knicks best. Suit up. Get ready for the sweep. We need Randle playing well. We need the other guys playing well. These guys play. Mitchell hits shots when he's in Cleveland. All right. We got to play them well. So let's get it together and close it out. All right. Great show, guys. That is our show. And as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's our show. We out this mug.
Peace.
Later.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.